AFTERBUZZers, thanks for joining us for another Spotlight On. Today, in studio, we turn the spotlight on actress Jennifer Cetrone. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Yes, it's Brittany. Welcome, AFTERBUZZers, to AFTERBUZZ Studios here in Los Angeles, California. My name is Michael Rippe. I am your host. You can catch me on social media at Mike Rips, and I'm joined today as we turn the spotlight on actress, lead, executive producer, co-creator, everything, actress Jennifer Cetrone of Riley the Series.
Hi, Michael. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us. Where can everyone that's watching and listening to Brittany, where can they find not only you on social media, but the series, Riley the Series?
So you can find me across all platforms just at Jennifer Cetrone.
Okay.
And then Riley the Series across all platforms just at Riley the Series. So it's really easy.
Very easy, Riley the Series. And you guys will see that in the Twitter handles on the bottom of the screen. If you guys have questions, you are more than welcome to ask us in the live chat. If I can see that, we will answer them. This is exciting. Thank you again for joining us.
I'm so happy to be here. What you guys do is awesome, and I'm thrilled to be a part of it.
During this, we are going to share with you a trailer from Riley the Series. So we're going to do that in just a few minutes. But first, if you're listening on the podcast, give us 5 stars. If you're watching, hit the thumbs up, like this video, because how come you have to, you know? And join us over the next 30 minutes or so as we break down Riley the Series with you, the lead actress, executive producer, co-creator.
We have so much to talk about.
We do. So let's just start. I have a fun starting question. I just want to know, what is your psychic experience?
My psychic experience.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Thank you.
I have been to a psychic before, and it was interesting. It was sort of a combination of the cards with an energetic reading. I actually went a few times.
A few? Did you go more than a few times and you're just telling me a few times?
No, probably about 4 to 5 times over like 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, it's sort of a challenging time in my life. This is going back a few years.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think she said some things that did actually come to pass about people I would meet and places I would go. So it's sort of interesting. But I think there's plenty of hoaxes out there too, which in the instance of the show is sort of more up Riley and her crew's alley.
Yeah, that's I'm always not sure about if it's a hoax. No, but every time you go by the hand readers and all of this, I'm always hesitant.
Yeah.
I just never know.
Well,
but then you hear stories that, this person told me this was going to happen and it happened, and I just don't know.
I think if you can kind of have a little bit of fun with it and have a healthy dose of skepticism at the same time, and not take it too seriously.
Okay, so Riley the Series.
Yeah.
You are doing so much in it. You just released episode 1, the pilot episode, recently.
Yeah, just on the 19th of January.
And we want to share the trailer with everyone. Yeah. So do you want to set up maybe your character or a little background before someone that's about to watch see the trailer?
Sure. So Riley is a former teen pop star who's now in her 30s. And she survived at the end of her career, so we're talking late teens, early 20s, a really big downfall on stage. And then she sort of had a subsequent nervous breakdown. And so we meet her probably a decade later, and she's now working at a psychic hotline, a telephone and online psychic hotline.
Okay.
And she's not so thrilled with her life.
All right, well, let's be thrilled with our life right now. And Steven, if we could play that trailer, and then we'll really get into our Spotlight On series.
Fun.
Yeah, let's do it.
We're living the dream. Giving psychic advice for $1.95 a minute.
Sally, I'm telling you, I totally sense a new love coming into your life.
Here we go. Cheers. Oh, man. Henry is totally into you.
Yo! Check it out! Remember that teen pop band that had that crazy lip sync scandal on that award show? The lead singer flipped out on stage. This is her! Oh! Yeah. Hashtag fallen angels, career death. Oh no!
Hello, ladies. I got 50 new followers on my Twitter page last night. And guess who got recognized in a gas station bathroom? Me, what? I live tweet all my performances. This is me saving the environment.
You're a freaking mime. You're not supposed to talk or tweet.
And send.
Hello, gorgeous. Hello, you.
So what's your plan, Riley? You're just gonna give up on life because you're trapped in some horrible moment in time?
Public humiliation and a dead-end job.
You know, I got my brother's van tonight. It's super nice. It's got real pleather in the back seats.
You need to dream.
And what if I fail again, huh?
Okay, there it is. I love it. And all the ways that people can follow the Riley the Series.
Yes.
So RileyTheSeries.com. There's the Facebook page, the YouTube page. Check it out. That was episode 1, the pilot episode, and we were talking before, and you wanted to let us know that you're going to release episode 2 sometime in the near future.
Yeah,
or?
so that's the trailer, which is
The trailer, right.
an amalgam of episodes 1 through 3, which
Got
are
it.
the number of episodes that we actually have in the can. that
Have
been
already shot. Okay.
And so episode 1 was released on the 19th, and then we haven't announced our official release date yet for the second episode. It is done, and through post. So it will either be at the end of this month or the very beginning of next month.
Cool. And then sometime to follow that, the third episode.
Exactly. Yeah.
And is there more after episode 3? Do you want to just talk about that? Or
Yeah,
what's
there
the thought?
is.
Because
the series Bible for the whole first season is done, and the writer Tracy May, who's tremendously talented, and I sort of have an idea on where we want to take the characters for many subsequent seasons.
Okay.
And so number 4 through 13 are written. Most of them are done. A few of them are going through some last minute rewrites, but they're definitely very close to being finished.
Right.
So we're really, hopeful that we'd find a network partner, distribution, or a successful streaming platform to partner with us to produce the rest of season 1 and hopefully the subsequent seasons.
Absolutely. So what was the inspiration, or what was the idea behind creating Riley the Series?
Yeah, I actually was looking for a script to produce for a few years. I'm not a writer, and I will leave the writing to the very talented people who are legitimately fabulous writers. So I knew I needed to find the right partner and the right script. So I literally had been reading. We had received many submissions, hundreds, and I had read almost all of them. And Tracy submitted her script to me in the summer of 2015. And at the time, it was only a short film script. And what I really saw was the potential for it to be a really hilarious TV series. So together, she and I, worked on starting to get it developed into the series that it is today. I don't recall, and I need to go back and find out what Riley was in her initial short film. She wasn't a former teen pop star.
So it's changed a lot.
Yeah, it has. And I've actually been acting and singing professionally since I was 13. So it sort of had it was an apropos fit, you know what I mean, for me to sort of relate to some of the things that were going on, and we're excited to kind of get for me to sing, a bit as the series progresses, right? There's a lot of funny flashbacks that can happen.
So you've been acting and doing all this since you were young.
Yeah.
Is this your first web series?
It is, yeah. I founded my production company who did this from the ground up in 2007, and we've done all kinds of successful theater projects in town, and we do a lot of corporate projects as well. And so this was our first foray into web. I knew that was the medium we wanted to sort of go into next.
Yeah, and what's behind that, knowing that that's the medium you want to go into? Is that the future? Is that where everyone's at? Or was there a reason to have that interest now in the web series?
Yeah, I think all of the above. I think it's I mean, the time is now to put something out there digitally, and it's just expanding so much. I mean, it's a really exciting time for all of us, and there are so many more opportunities, I think, for us as creators, writers, as actors, producers, directors, whatnot. And it's a really great time for us to create our own work and actually get it seen. And I also have a pretty strong marketing background and business and consulting background too, so it seemed like I finally understood how to sort of tackle all of the pieces of the pie, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pieces to the pie too.
There are.
So I watched the pilot episode already. I had a question about the pilot. I don't know if you know. So in the first episode, not to give everything away, but it's your birthday.
It is.
How old did you turn in the pilot episode? Do you actually know that, or is this supposed to be a birthday? Because I was wondering, like, have you actually determined this yet?
I knew it was early 30s.
Okay.
So I'm 33, so I figure it's right around there.
Okay, cool. And I guess, what can we expect in future episodes compared to what we just saw as far as just the teaser? And if you watch the first episode, because I want more, and I've only seen the first episode, I want more, what can you tell us to expect, or give me some more?
Yeah, I mean, what I think is really cool is that even though this is set with a former teen pop star, I think the theme of the show is pretty universal, because we've all experienced getting knocked down in life and experiencing huge failures, whatever, our professional lives, whatever we encounter in our professional lives or our personal lives. So I think it's an interesting concept to really see what it looks like, Riley having to get back up, because obviously she failed, she's been flailing. Now what does it look like as she tries to rebuild her life? So there's a lot surrounding her love life. She's sort of going down dark roads in that respect, which we see a little bit of in the pilot and the trailer. We explore that more in episodes 2 and 3, definitely. And then also, even though it's entitled Riley, it really, to me, is a beautiful ensemble comedy. We have such tremendously funny actors who are in the ensemble, and so we really sort of take a ride on their journey as well, simultaneously as all of their paths cross, because she's got some very quirky characters in her not so famous life.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of some of the co-characters, just from the teaser, I love the part with the mime when you guys are talking and then he walks into the wall and he's tweeting and all the funny stuff that happens with that. I thought that was great. Talk to me about Triple Threat and the thoughts about Triple Threat. Are we going to learn more as we go on? We're gonna see kind of into the past or get more about Triple Threat?
Exactly. I think there's so many hilarious flashbacks that can come. In the pilot, we see just that tiny snippet of sort of giving some background into what her publicly humiliating downfall might have looked like on stage, but there's so much we can continue to explore, even with like rival teen pop bands. I mean, we could go back into a lot of different things, and also get to understand Riley a bit better as we explore what her past looked like. So,
question in the live chat, and also I had the same question. What's who's behind Riley? I mean, do you have personal experience that you take to be Riley, or do you look to some character maybe that's out there right now, or where do you get, what do you draw on?
I think it's a combination of both. Obviously, without naming names, it's a relevant topic. We have so many, both female and male, sort of former teen pop stars who had downfalls and have either come back up or are working on their comeback. You don't want to name any of the people? I mean, it's sort of an amalgam of a bunch of different pop stars. Yeah. But I think we all kind of relate to it, and as a culture, we're interested in like, okay, we haven't heard from this group or this person in 10 years, but then all of a sudden maybe we start to, and they have a resurgence. So that's part of the inspiration, is that culturally I think it's super relevant. And then personally, I'm really transparent about the fact that even though I been working professionally since I was young, I definitely had a major lull in my 20s that was really hard and challenging, to the point that I even questioned what I was doing. You know, this was what I was told I was supposed to do my whole life, and what I felt I was supposed to do from a really young age, and not working for a time when you're used to working is
tough.
Yeah,
Sure.
but I share that because I think it's so important for people to understand, again, whether it's in entertainment or whatever your field is, or in life, your personal life, you're gonna hit those peaks and valleys. None of us get out of this life unscathed, and we're gonna have hard times. And again, it's like overcoming that adversity and hopefully doing it with humor. I mean, that's what I love about this show, is that actually at times the subject matter is sort of heavy, but we take it on with this great, hopefully, you know, comedic flair, and we need to incorporate that into our own lives too.
Yeah.
But you know, I can definitely relate to going, what am I doing with my life, and then having to be resourceful and figuring out how you start to put the pieces back together, and maybe it doesn't look just like the picture in your head, but it's like a new picture, and you can start to create it yourself.
Yeah, I like that. That's good.
Thanks.
Yeah, definitely. So I mentioned a couple of the co-stars quickly. Can you talk about the co-stars and the
Yeah.
crew, and how'd you bring everyone together? What was the process? Do you have past relationships with most of the people, or talk about your crew?
My past relationship only with who you were talking about, the mime, Joe Hernandez-Kolsky. He's an Emmy winner and a longtime friend of mine for, I think we go back well over 10 years now, which is crazy. And he's done fabulous things in his career, and we're really close friends too, and I just knew that the part of Gavin was the part for him. I also have knew Nick, who plays Remy. I knew him prior as well, but everyone else we actually auditioned, and you know, again, it was we were so excited to find the people that we did for the roles, because I feel like not only are they just so great at comedy, but they fit the role so well.
You guys have been nominated, won a couple awards, right? Do you want to expand on that?
Yeah, I mean, the first week we came out, Tube Filter selected us as one of 4 independent web series for their Indie Spotlight, as their Under the Radar series to check out. So that was very cool. Net TV Now has also selected our trailer as their trailer pick, and then we're just the script itself, episodes 1 through 3 that Tracy wrote, have also won screenwriting awards as well, and now we're submitting it to the festivals as well, so we'll see what comes up. And from
speaking of the festivals, obviously we wish you much success and luck
you.
with it. Is there one in particular, or is there, what would be the festival, or maybe the nomination or something that said to you that would be awesome to get? Is there one that
I think Rain Dance for web.
Okay.
Obviously, I think a few of the web festivals here in LA. Toronto actually has a really good web fest. Even Tribeca, which we missed the deadline, but they actually have a digital category now as well. So some of the really big festivals now are also opening it up to digital,
right?
Which is pretty exciting.
So someone such as myself that maybe is not super familiar with web series, let's say, and everyone watching, they may say, what's the process in creating this? I mean, the time frame. It can take a while, yeah?
Yeah, it did. Like I said, Tracy and I started working in the summer of 2015, and then we didn't go into principal photography until the following summer of 2016, and we worked a lot in that period of that year. Pre-production was a lot of work. Again, you know, this was produced independently from the ground up, and we were working so hard to try to keep the production value up, but we really were on a shoestring budget in so many respects.
Of course.
I mean, all the actors are, it was shot under a SAG contract, but all the actors work deferred. But obviously I had to pay the crew, and it was like begging them, can you please work for this?
Of course.
So and you know, whenever we're all busy with our own careers, so it's asking people a lot to go ahead and take less than they're used to making. But I think people were attracted to the fact that we were very organized. My associate producer, Kara Michelotti, I have to give her a huge shout out, because without her partnership, I don't know how we would have gotten this done, because she and I just had to be so meticulous in pre-production. And then we found a fabulous editor too, who I have to call out, Joy Noelle Worley. She really she works so well with Kara and myself, it's the three of us in a room, like hunkering down to get this through post.
Yeah. Okay. So you're wearing a few different hats as part of the web series.
Yeah.
Is there one that you prefer? Or if I said to you, Jen, you've got to choose one of the three.
Yeah.
What are you choosing and why?
I mean, it's so hard.
Is it?
I mean, and it's so funny because I talked about that lull in my career, and there would have been a time where I would have said actress all the way. That's all. But especially with something like this that's become my baby, like I can't imagine not doing one of the three. I can't imagine not being involved with Tracy in the creation, because I want to have a hand in how the story is told. I can't imagine not being EP, just because it's like knowing how much we have to get done and the ways that it has to get done and what we have to accomplish. And then obviously I'm in love with this character, so I want to play her.
So what would be the advice to anyone watching that maybe takes on the different roles, which a lot of people will do,
Sure.
in being able to take on a multitude of roles at the same time? What's the type of way to kind of separate when you're the actress, the executive producer, a co-creator? How do you wear the different hats but also keep the roles kind of separate and stay focused? Is there any advice?
I think it's being able to trust your team. I mean, we had a small but very nimble team, and they knew, especially because I can be a bit type A and a bit OCD. They knew when it was like, okay, Jen, we got this. Now go back to makeup and go, But they were also always kind to me when I had feedback. There was that level of respect, but also they knew and I knew how to take it when it was time, when the director or Kara would say, okay, we got it, go back. Or sometimes Kara would even come up and go, I need you to see this in the monitor, so it's just being, I think some of it comes from experience. When I produced a lot of theater, I would be wearing that producer hat and actress hat, so I'm used to that in a way. But I think you have to be thoughtful about it, and you have to be able to trust your team and trust their communication.
Definitely. Okay.
They have your back.
Having a good team, obviously important, almost in anything you do.
Right. Absolutely.
What else is going on for Jennifer Cetrone outside of Riley the series, or is just Riley the series right now the main focus?
Yeah, I mean, Riley the series is the main focus because I want to promote it as much as I can, and I want to see the rest of the series and the rest of the story be told. And then, like I said, my company also has a corporate arm. We're quite busy with our tech clients in the corporate world.
And that's from the ground up?
It is,
okay.
Yeah. So we're juggling quite a bit right now, especially because it's our busy season on the corporate end too. But certainly once this is up and going, I would love to focus on some other avenues of comedy, and I also have a background in dramatic work too, so it's I'd love to be able to look at other projects, whether they're other people's or something that comes through from the ground up.
Okay. Well, we've got pilot episode Riley the series. It's out now. You got to go check it out on YouTube.
Yes.
There are a second episode, a third episode coming, just enough to whet your appetite. It's whet my appetite. I watched. I'm ready for the second episode.
Good.
I would like to see more. I'm excited to see more about Triple Threat and these flashbacks and getting to know more of the characters. It's been a pleasure to find out a little bit more about Riley the series. We do hope and wish you the best of luck and success with the show.
Thank you so much.
And ideally, we'll see you in a film festival, a web festival.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can see episodes the rest of the season.
Exactly.
That's what we like.
That's
And then you got to come back and share more with us.
Yeah, I would love it. I'd love to come back and chat with you some
So,
more.
any last thing to tell us about Riley the series? If someone just tuned in, why should they watch?
I think you see characters whose journey you really want to follow. I think I'm so happy to hear you say, like, I want more, because everybody who watches it comes back with that same. They want more. They want to follow Riley's journey, and they want to see what happens with all the other characters as well. So I think it's funny. It's quirky, but it's still grounded. So I think you really laugh and have an escape while you're giggling at all these silly people.
Definitely. And you too can follow Riley and her journey on RileyTheSeries.com, on YouTube, on Facebook, obviously the website, and you can follow Jennifer at Jennifer Cetrone,
right,
on all social media platforms. You can follow me on social media platforms at Mike Rips. My name is Mike Rippe. This is AfterBuzz TV. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and listening to us as you joined us on AfterBuzz TV's Spotlight On series. We'll be back again sometime down the road. Till then, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thanks.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.